Hello everybody, my name is Christopher Solomon. I am a senior leader at a large financial institution. I believe in leadership, it's my passion. I believe in service, it's also my passion. I believe in people. I believe that a leader's job is to be willing to sacrifice and be of service to the people, and I'm hoping that my influence can make you better. I believe that everybody has something special inside of them. And I believe that you do as well. Hello. Morning.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
It's another day in paradise, right? Let me get this for you.
Thank you.
All right, let me get this as well.
Thank you so much.
Doing good today? Nice. So I like to hear. Have a good day. Morning. All right. Yes, ma'am. So here we are. Another start of a beautiful day. Another opportunity to make an impact. Let's make today a good day.
All right, so the first question I have for you is I want to know, what is your why? What is your reasoning for getting up in the morning and, doing you?
Wow. Okay. That's a good question, man. It's a question you have to ask yourself every day, right? Why did you get up in the morning? Why are you going to wear what you wear? Why are you going to do what you do? Why are you going to eat what you eat? And I would have to say that my why to get up and be excited every morning, because I try to wake up on purpose, right? And I think that why has a lot to do with it, is to make an impact and to make a positive impact. From a young age, I've always wanted to make a positive impact in the world. You look at people like the Mahatma Gandhis, the Oprah Winfreys, the Barack Obamas, the influential people in the world that the history books are wrote on and statues are built after. You say, wow, the world is better because they came here. And they had the same 24 hours in the day that we all have. And I also think that they did it not on themselves. They were no better or worse than you and I, but they did it with people. They had the, ear of people. They had influence. And I think influence is directly correlated to leadership. If you're a leader, you have influence. You have people who follow you, right? Because you can't do anything on your own. But then you look at the guys like the Hitlers and say, wow, he was a leader then because he had a lot of people following him. And he was a leader. But he wasn't a great leader. He didn't make a positive impact. And I don't want to just be a leader with influence, but a great leader. And I think great leadership is directly correlated to one's willingness and capacity to serve others, to serve, to be of service, to lift people up, to push people forward, to ask them to do more than they would do on their own and make them believe in themselves. They say, if you can make a person dream more, think more, want to accomplish more, you're a leader. And I feel that is one of the highest aspirations that one could have of themselves. So to answer your question, Blue, what's my why? To make an impact. Hopefully the world will be better because I came this way. And that's kind of what I tell myself every day, and that's what shoots me up out of bed.
Nice, I like that. Excellent. Basically, we have a question from the audience here.
Okay.
And that question is,
what is success to you?
Wow, that's a good question. Thank you. First off for that question, because I think that's a question that everybody asks. What is success? Is it the money? Is it the cars? Is it the clothes? Is it the status? Is it the influence? Is it the leadership? Is it the statues we talked about or the books being written about you? And I don't really think it's any of that stuff. Success to me is the look in the eye of the man staring back at me in the mirror every night, saying that, you know what, you were better than you were yesterday. You know what, you tried hard. You know what, you did good. And the world is better because you came today. We're better off because you're here today. A rising tide raises all boats, right? So you help one person. You help one little old lady cross the street. You open one door for one person. You put some inspiration or motivation into one person, and that's success. You don't need to have 6 figures, 7 figures, 10 figures in your bank account to be successful. You don't need to have a statue built after you or a book written about you or anyone even know your name. You just have to be an influence. It's the butterfly effect, right? That one word could touch somebody, to touch somebody else, to touch somebody else. I was walking down the street the other day, and I was talking to one of my buddies, and the guy in front of us, his bag opened, and a bunch of papers fell out. And we weren't even really thinking about it. We just both, kept our conversation, picked it up, helped the guy pick up his bag, put it back on his way. Hey man, thanks, and kept going. So we get to the crosswalk, and the dude turns around and he's like, hey man, I saw you help that guy put his books back in his bag. That's really cool. That's really cool. And I was like, wow, you know, something as small as that made me feel successful. Like I did something good for the world and someone else saw it and now they're going to pay it forward and do something else. So success to me is the look that you give yourself at the end of the day when you say, you know what, good job, man. Good job today. Because you know when you've had one of those days and you know when you don't have one of those days. I think it's important to note that you got to know what you're not to know who you are. So to know what success is for you, because it could be different for you, you have to know what not success is. The world is relativity, right? It's relative. We know what hot feels like because we know how cold feels. We love sunny days because we've been in the rainy days. We love, you know, being super high because we've been so low. And a lot of people are in that low spot. They're in that cold spot. They're in that non-warm spot, and they want to be warm. They want to be high. They want to be, you know, successful. But you have to be unsuccessful. You have to be cold. You have to know what you're not to know who you are. And you're just going through the journey. You got to know left from right, because right wouldn't feel like right if you didn't ever go left. So for those of you who are on the left, for those of you who want to ask the question to begin with, you know, what is success? Because you may not feel like you're successful right now. You're just going through what you're not. So eventually you can realize and appreciate what you are, which is going to be successful. And it's going to be different for everybody. So it's the opposite of the things that you know you shouldn't be doing. And it's exactly what it is. And it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody.
You honestly can't get like one definition for success.
It's impossible.
Right?
You know, success to a fish is swimming hard. Success to a kangaroo is jumping high. You know, success to a monkey is climbing. It's different. People are different. We're all different. That's the beauty of this diverse planet. You know, it's the beauty of the different mindsets and the different thoughts and the different religions and the different, you know, just desires, wants, needs, and desires. My wants, needs, and desires are different than your wants, needs, and desires. So my success is going to be different than your success. And that's okay. And that's great. Thank God we all don't want to do the same thing, or we'd all be cutting lawns, right? You know, thank God we all don't want to, you know, look at life the same way, or there wouldn't be different cars, there wouldn't be different clothes, there wouldn't be different ideas, there wouldn't be different anything that we can share, because the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. And it's because we're different, and it's because my success is different from your success, but our success together is better than our success alone, because we're better together.
So what is your biggest obstacle? What was your biggest obstacle? And how did you overcome it?
Wow. Honestly, man, my biggest obstacle was realizing not necessarily what I got to start doing. A lot of people say that you need to start going to the gym, right? You need to start reading books every day. You need to start, you know, eating healthy. You need to start practicing positive affirmation type thought processors, meditating. You know, there's a million different things. Everyone knows what you go out and start doing to be successful. It's just actually doing it that's the hard part. My biggest obstacle was realizing that everything happens for a reason. And I'm exactly where I need to be when I need to be there. And if I can be in the mindset knowing that right where I am is perfect, and tomorrow will be even better, and the next day will be even better, and the next day will be even better than that, regardless of circumstances. There could be trials, tribulations, there could be walls and hurdles that you have to jump through. I'm better off tomorrow, even if tomorrow's a bad day, than I was today, because I have more experience, right? I've gone through it. You know, I'm able to make better decisions. You know, they say that, you know, they asked a wise man one time, he said, how are you so successful? He's like, I make wise decisions. And they said, well, how did you learn to make wise decisions? And he said, you know, experience. I said, well, how'd you gain the experience? He said, making bad decisions. So you make a bad decision, you have a bad day. You gain experience. You have the same thing happen the next day, and you make a good decision, and someone is starting to ask you, what is success to you? Why are you so successful? And you're thinking a couple days back, like, if you only knew. I'm no better than anybody else, and I'm no farther than anybody else. I've just realized that right where I am is right where I need to be. And when you have that mindset, and you have it in your heart, and you feel it, it makes you make good decisions. So my biggest obstacle was learning to be appreciative in the moment. Not want to be anywhere else, not be in the past thinking about what I could have done or should have done, not living in the future worrying about what's going to happen or what could happen, but being right here in the moment saying, you know what, I'm sitting here with Demoris Blue right now having a great time, and that's all I have is the ever-present moment of now, you know? The past is history, the future's a mystery. The present is a gift. That's why they call it a present.
Nice. Okay. All right. So now, when speaking on intangible traits, courage, when you speak on those, what would you say is your strongest, and how did that per se give you an edge?
Oh man. So I would say that I have a superpower, and my superpower is I'm able to be me, regardless of the good opinions of others or what the crowd is doing. When I was younger, I got into a lot of trouble. I was never, in any kind of criminal trouble or anything like that, even though I've done stupid things. I'm not going to tell you in the interview. But in school, I was mischievous. I was always in detention. I was always talking to people. I was always, talking to my neighbor while we were supposed to be reading or doing math, and I was always in trouble. And going through that, it really gave me a desensitivity to, you shouldn't do that, you should be like this, you should do that, because I'm used to being in trouble anyway, right? So I danced to the beat of my own drum. When I grew up, now I realized that God was putting me through these situations to desensitize me to the good opinions of everyone else, because everyone's going to want you to be something. You're blue. Someone's going to want you to be red. Someone's going to think you should be yellow. Hey, you know what? Green's a better shade than blue, but you're blue. And if you care about what everyone else is being, you're going to mix all these colors together, and then you're going to look at yourself and you're not going to know what you are. I came from a position, when I'm younger, because I'm mixed race. I'm half white, I'm half black. I didn't quite fit in with the white folks because I'm black. I didn't quite fit in with the black folks because I'm not black enough, right? So I never really fit in. Add that to the getting in trouble. Add that to the not really knowing where I am at. And you get, hey, I'm used to being an outcast. I'm used to being a black sheep. I'm used to being different. And different hurt when I was younger. And for the folks that feel different right now, the younger folks who I just don't fit in, I can't get in the cool crowd, or I can't fit in with this person, or my family's different than I am, and I don't know why I think this. Difference is good. Difference is good. Success is different. Success is 1%. 1% is different than the 99%. So if we're listening to the 99% expected to be successful, it's not going to happen. You got to be different. You got to dare to be different. You got to appreciate being different. So I would say my intangible is appreciating me being different and not looking at it as a bad thing, but looking at it as a good thing. I would much rather stand out than fit in. I would much rather go it alone and heading in the right direction than go with the crowd heading in the wrong direction. So being able to speak up when your boss's boss says something and everyone's like, yes, sir. It's a really good trait. Being able to say no and stand up for what you know is right in the face of overwhelming odds and criticism. It's a very admirable trait that I appreciate about myself and I love about myself, and I thank God that I was sitting in detention reading all those books and sitting in there doing all those things when I was, and I didn't fit in with the group. I thank God for my experiences, but when I was going through it, man, different hurts. But now I just appreciate being different.
Now that you are here, how does it feel?
That's one of the things that you get a lot, How does it feel to have made it? Made it? I look at myself as that same troublemaking little kid who's in detention or in the dean's office, and I still have as many insecurities, I still have as many problems, I still have as many of all of the stuff and baggage that people who haven't made it do too. You think that you'll get to a certain place and then all of a sudden you'll be happy. You feel like you'll get to a certain, place and all of a sudden you'll feel success. You'll feel like it's good. You'll feel like life is over. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work at all like that. I feel the same way as I felt when I was in the previous position I was in. I feel the same way I felt when I was in the previous position I was in before that, and then before that, and before that, and before that. You're always going to have a next destination. You're always going to have wants, needs, and desires. And the second that you accomplish anything, whether it be success, fame, fortune, money, anything, another one will spring up right in its place, and there's another mountain to tackle. There's another set of obstacles. There's another million voices in your head telling you that you're not enough, you're not far enough, you're not, doing what you need to do. And you have to flex those muscles again and push them down. And listen to the lone wolf of dissent that's been there with you the whole time, that's still and quiet and says, you can't do it. You got this. $1 million? Pfft, it's nothing. Next position? It's nothing. Helping these many people? It's nothing. You got this. You got this. But it's a quiet voice. It's a still voice. And it's always been there and it'll always be there. But the louder voices, including the voices of the crowd and the people that are well-intentioned, your family, your friends, and the people that are closest to you, will always scream and be telling you that you're either not enough, you can't do it because they couldn't do it, or they don't think you should do it, or they think it's scary that you should do it, or it's just not something that's ever been done. So I would say it feels regular. It feels normal. It feels uncomfortable. But I'm at the point now in my life where I'm really comfortable being uncomfortable. And I challenge you all to, whoever's listening, to put yourselves in uncomfortable positions. Take a cold shower that you're in there and see how long you can make it. Put a little extra weight on the bar. Get into something that you're not good at or you're not comfortable with that's not in your comfort zone. Because if you can be comfortable being uncomfortable, you've at least got an edge over most people, because your brain's going to want to make you comfortable. It's going to want to make you easy. It's going to want to, always offer you the path of least resistance. All you got to do is just say, hey, you know what? Let's just go with the flow. Let's stop pushing, and it'll always be there to wash you away. So I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, but it feels regular. It feels like just normal life. I'll let you know when I got $1 billion if that feels any different.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's. I do believe the journey is important, but I guess a lot of people believe that the destination is the goal. So once you reach that goal, there will be a difference between how you are now and then how you will be.
And it's the same. And I even say that the journey is not even the point. It's not the journey. It's not the destination. It's the person you become through the journey at the destination. It's the blue that you're going to be after you've gone through what you went through in the journey. When you, for example, you have a goal of losing weight or putting on muscle and you go to the gym and you say, it's going to take me 6 months to a year of working out every single day to get to this muscle gain and get to this fat loss. And then you do it. And you keep looking at that destination to keep you motivated. And you're excited listening to the success tape saying it's about the journey, it's not about the destination. And you keep going. And then you get there and you say, hey, I feel regular. Just like I said, yeah, I got the muscle on, and now I got the fat loss, and it feels good, but I have another goal, and I have another journey to go through. But then you look at who you've become. You look at the mental toughness that you have and the strength that you have. You look at the intangibles like you thought, the relationships that you built along the way, and the person that you ultimately are because of what you went through, and you say, wow, I'm a faster version of myself, I'm a stronger version of myself, I'm a better version of myself. And that's the goal, that's the beauty, that's the prize. I can't even wait to see what kind of person I am when I can help 1 billion people and I can lead the masses. I can't wait to see the kind of character that I have when I have the funds and the finances that I want. I can't wait to see the kind of heart that I have when I make the sacrifice for whatever it is that I'm going to ultimately achieve in my life. I can't wait, not for the funds or the money or the influence or the people, but the person I am staring back at me in the mirror with that smile on his face saying, man, remember when you're that kid in detention? Look at you now. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. And that now I'm here, that's what I'm looking for. And I think that's the biggest thing you could ask for.
All right, so Chris, do you still dream? I guess you kind of already answered this question, but do you still, if you do still dream, of what do you dream of?
Man. I have this nightmare about this huge macaroni noodle crushing me last night. I think it was the protein. But to answer your question seriously, of course, I dream. I dream of a world where the divisions that we have are gone. A world that we care more about each other than being right or you being wrong. A world where Democrat and Republican, liberal, conservative, black, white, female, male, those dichotomies fall away in the oneness of who we are and the hookup of loving each other and gotten each other's back and trying to get to that next level really overshadows all. That's my dream. Is it far off? Yeah. Is it going to take a lot of work? Yeah. But I could only imagine the kind of people would be when we get to that destination, when we get to that goal. Martin Luther King had a dream, right? When, and now look at us now. He'd be excited. Mahatma Gandhi had a dream. Look at us now. He'd be excited. You have people like, I can't even think of anybody right now. I guess I'm tongue-tied. But my dream is a world better than we are now. Not because the world is bad now, but because I know we have so much more in us. I know that we have so much more potential, and I know that we're going to get there. A lot of people think that the world's going to end. I don't think the world's going anywhere. We're going to be here for a long time, and there's going to be one day that we look back 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years ago and say, wow, they cared about the color of your skin. Wow, they cared about the pieces of paper that you had versus however many paper someone else had. Wow. And they'll be so farther along, and they'll have a million other things on their to-do list to be even better than they are now. So my dream is just the consistent progression of us, the evolution of our souls, the evolution of our togetherness and the oneness, and just breaking down those dichotomies of black, white, me versus them, up versus down, left versus right, hot versus cold, and just seeing the beauty and seeing God in everything. Seeing it in all of us, seeing that you're the same as me and I'm the same as you, and we're the same as the table. So we should treat each other right, and we should make sure we don't throw the table over, right? That's kind of my dream, minus the weird nightmares of macaroni noodles falling on me because I ate a steak too late. So,
all right, Chris, the final question here. Now, if you could go back to your past self, right, yourself in the past, what would you tell that person?
No, seriously. It's going to be okay. Had a lot of sleepless nights. Had a lot of fearful thoughts. I had a lot of voices in my head saying that, hey man, you're nothing. You should be farther. You've done too much. God can't forgive you for what you did. You're not going to be successful. You don't got the potential that you think you have. Just give up. You ain't going to make it, man. And I've had a lot of times where I've had to hit my knees, bawling my eyes out, to be perfectly honest, asking for help, asking God to show me the way, asking for an easier path, asking to take the weight off, asking for a lottery ticket, tired of being broke, tired of being tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Help me, take this weight off me. Let it be easier. There's got to be a different way. Little did I know that all that weight was necessary to build the mental toughness that's needed to be the person you need to be to have what you have. One of the things that people forget, and I knew I didn't know, is that you're never going to have what you're not willing to become. You're not going to be able to have $1 billion if you don't become the type of person that deserves it. You're not going to be able to have the loving relationship if you don't become the type of person who's loving themselves. So I had to have that weight. I had to go through that struggle. I had to learn what I wasn't so I could learn what I was and be what I knew I needed to be to have the things I needed to have. So go back, I'd tell the kid, first off, hey man, relax. Second off, you're just going through the process. It's a process. A seed doesn't automatically spurt into a tree. It has to crack. First, it has to get buried in crap. It's buried in dirt. It's dark, stinky. It has to crack open, and it has to struggle to reach the light, and then it's just a little tiny modicum of success. 50 years later, after rainstorms and windstorms and animals kicking it and eating on it and bugs going crazy, it's a little bit more of a modicum of success. Then hundreds of years later, it's the biggest oak tree you've ever seen. An elephant could come and slam into it. An elephant would, break its neck. A hurricane could come and hit it, and the thing wouldn't even bend. So all of the sleepless nights, all of the tears, all the sweat, all of the insecurities, I wouldn't take it away, but I'd tell them it's going to be all right.
It'll be all right.
It's going to be all right.
All right, so I want to thank you for coming in today. I want to thank you definitely for your words of wisdom. I definitely think that it helped the audience tremendously.
Anytime.
I can tell you it helped me just by sitting here and talking to you, so I definitely appreciate that.